Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome back to Let's Learn with Us. My name is Ridha&Zidni and then
Ridha.
So we're going to continue our next material.
Let's get started. Alright, so the strategy number 21 is to draw conclusions about who, what, when, and where. So, as you listen to each long conversation, you should be trying to set the situation in your mind. You should be thinking for the following thought. First, who is talking? Next, when. When does the conversation probably take place? The next, where. Where does the conversation probably take place? And the last, what. What is the source of information for the conversation? For example, if on the recording you hear the first speaker or the man says, "Why do you have so many books?" Then the second speaker or the woman replies, "I need them for my paper on George Washington. Do you know how I can check them out?" Then the first speaker or the man replies again, "Yes, you should go downstairs to the circulation desk and fill out a card for each book." So you should think, who is probably talking? Where are they and what course are they discussing? So the answers are, who is probably talking is two students, the woman and the man. Then where are they? This is a huge chance that the situation is take place in the library. And what course are they discussing? It is American history because the woman mentioned George Washington.
And now this is skill 22. Listen for answers in order. So there are two possible methods to use while you listen to the long conversation. Strategy number 1 is you can just listen to the conversation and ignore the answers. And then strategy number 2 is you can follow along with the answers while you listen. So when you find this question and then long conversation, you didn't have to focus on the answers because the question and the answer will be in order, it will be sequential, guys. So you cannot have to focus on the answers. And then some students prefer to just listen to the conversation while it is being spoken. And if that method works well for you, then that is what you should do. Other students find that they can answer more questions correctly if they read along with the answers while the conversation is being spoken. Because the detailed questions are answered in order, it is possible to read along while listen to the conversation on the recording. So for example, this is for example, guys. Look, this is the conversation of the man and woman. Man, can I help you? Woman, I'm interested in opening an account. Man, well, we have several different types of accounts: checking accounts, saving accounts, money market accounts, time deposit accounts. Woman, it's the checking account that I am interested in. Nah, this is the answer of the question number 1. So when you read and when you listen to the conversation, you have to also read the answer, guys, properly. And then when you read the answer and then suddenly the speakers say the answer, like a woman said, "It's a checking account that I am interested in." And then you read the answer, have a similar words with the woman said, which is a checking account. So it's the right answer. You don't have to look at or listen for the question first before you answering. You have to listen to the conversation and focus on the answers that you have. for example number 1, and then you can start to answer the question before you listen to the question. Yeah. What is it? Example number 2. Yeah, question number 2. This is we have several answers also. And then man, I can help you with that. First, you have to fill out a form, and then I need to see some identification. Identification, we find it in the question, in the answers of the question, in the answer of the 2, yeah, question 2, which is C, a piece of identification. So before we listen to the question, we already know the answer. The answer is C because the man said it, say the identification. So the answer is C. This is the strategy, guys. And then we move, yeah. On the recording you hear, what type of account does the woman want? This is the question, you guys. And then question number 2, what does the man need for her to show him? So we already know the answer before we're listening to the question, yeah? When you read the answers to the first question, you can anticipate that the first question is, what type of account? As you listen, you determine that the woman wants a checking account. Therefore, you can anticipate that the best answer to the first question is A. When you read the answers to the second question, you can anticipate that the second question is going to ask what thing. In the conversation, the man asks her to fill out a form and show some identification. So as you are listening, you can anticipate that the correct answer to the second question is either A or C. When you hear the question, you can determine that the best answer is answer C. So this is the strategy, guys. You can focus on the speaker's conversation, and then you can focus to the answers. Before you listen to the question, you can answer it slightly.
And then we are gonna going to the part C of the listening to full test. It is a long talk. 3 talks, each followed by a number of multiple choice questions, appear in part C of the listening comprehension section of the paper to full test. You will hear the talks and the questions on a recording. They are not written in your textbook. You must choose the best answer to each question from the 4 choices that are written in your textbook. Like the conversations in part B, the talks are often about some aspect of school life or topics currently in the news. It is also very common for the talks to be shortened versions of lectures from courses taught in American college and universities. And then we have some procedures for the long talks into full test. First, if you have time, review the answers to the question. While you are looking at the answer, you should try to do the following. You should anticipate the topics of the talks you will hear, and then you need to anticipate the questions for each of the groups of answers. The next procedure is to listen carefully to the first line of the talk. The first line of the talk often contains the main idea, subject, or topic of the talk, and you will often be asked this type of question. The third procedure, as you listen to the talk, draw conclusions about the situation of the talk. Who is talking, where or when the talk takes place, which course this lecture might be given in, and you will often be asked to make such inferences about the talk. The fourth procedure, as you listen to the talk, follow along with the answers in your textbook and try to determine the correct answers. Detailed questions are generally answered in order in the talk, and the answers often sound the same as what is said on the recording. The fifth procedure, you should guess if you are not sure. Never leave any answers blank. It is better to have the incorrect answer than to leave an answer blank. And the last procedure is use any remaining time to look ahead at the answers to the questions that follow. Alright, so we are going to the first skill for answering long talks, or the strategy number 23, and the listening to full test. So this skill is about to anticipate the topics. It is very helpful to your overall comprehension if you know what topics to expect in the long talks. You should therefore try to anticipate the topics that you will be hearing as you did with the long conversations. For example, are the talks about American history or literature or some aspect of school life? A helpful strategy is therefore to look briefly at the answers in the textbook before you actually hear the talks on the recording and try to determine the topics of the talks that you will hear. Okay, for the example, there are some multiple choices that you don't know what the question is yet. So first we need to anticipate what the topic is. So first, for the first multiple choices, there are A, during a biology laboratory session, B, in a biology study group, C, on the first day of class, D, just before the final exam. Then second, A, once a week, B, 2 times a week, C, 3 times a week, D, for 15 hours. Third, A, to do the first laboratory assignment, B, to take the first exam, C, to study the laboratory manual, D, to read one chapter of the text. Fourth, A, room assignment, B, exam topics, C, reading assignment, D, the first lecture. And fifth, A, exams and lab work, B, reading and writing assignments, C, class participation and grades on examinations, D, lecture and laboratory attendance. So if we see from these multiple choices, then we need to guess what the possible topic is. So there are some keywords here like biology, class, assignment, laboratory, etc. So it is most likely that the topic is about the requirements of a biology class. Well, you can say that because you can guess from the following clues like biology, first day of class, reading assignments, exams, and lab work.
Okay, let's continue to the skill 24, anticipate the question. This is, we have to anticipate the questions because we can see or find the topic, what the topic is talk about. And then before we start to listen to the question, because when we listen to the long conversation, it will be so difficult because sometimes we forget about what they talking about, what they're talking about after we listen to the question. So before we listen to the question, while we hear or listen to the conversation, we also have to read the answer, and then we have to finding or also thinking about what the probably the question talk about. It is very helpful to your ability to answer individual questions with a long talk if you can anticipate what the question will be and listen specifically for the answers to those questions as you deal with the long conversation. This is for example, this is we have four answers A, B, C, and D. For A for 3 weeks, B for 3 days, C for 3 months, and D for 3 hours. So when we read these answers, we can guess it and then find it. Maybe this is talking about or asking about when, or asking about hour or frequency, yeah guys. So you try to anticipate this question, the question, how long does something last? Yeah, because this is the question. The answers is talking about hours, days, month, weeks. So this is maybe a frequency, so we can know and listen to the conversation and start to find the answer before we listen to the question.
Well, maybe that's all the video for this week. See you later in the next video.
Bye bye.